Do you love eating at Subway, but you don't know how you could possibly find low carb items at a sandwich shop? Then stay tuned because I've gathered up the best low carb options at Subway so that you can eat what you love while keeping your blood sugar in check. Hey, I'm Erin here with Healthy Mom, Happy Family, and as a registered dietitian and a diabetes educator, I know that it can feel almost impossible to eat out when you have diabetes or insulin resistance, especially at fast food restaurants. I mean, how are you supposed to keep your blood sugar in check when it feels like every food on the menu is just packed full of refined carbohydrates? But I have really good news for you. If you love eating at Subway, this does not have to be off limits. There are absolutely options there that are lower in carb, better for blood sugar, that you can still eat what you love and feel good after. And I want to share those with you today. In order to eat out, especially at fast food restaurants, and prevent your blood sugar from spiking, you just have to do a little bit of research and planning ahead of time. But the good news is that I have done that research for you. So today I am going to share a long list of all of the great options that you can order at Subway that will still keep your blood sugar in a healthy range. So whether you're on a low carb diet, a keto diet, managing diabetes, there is something on the Subway menu that you can eat, and I'm sharing it with you today. Now, before we dive in, I just want to remind you that if you are looking for tips and tricks on managing type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, or looking for healthy blood sugar balance recipes, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. All right, so let's dive in. And I want to start by talking about how to find low carb items on the Subway menu. Because I know this can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack, but there's actually a lot of good options out there. So when you think about going to a fast food restaurant, it's not like going to the grocery store where you can pick up a food, look at the package, and know how many carbs are on it. When you go into a fast food restaurant like Subway, you have the menu, but you don't always know the nutrition information. So what you really want to do is go to the website. This is where you're going to find the nutrition values of all the menu items. And this should be the most up-to-date information as well. Now, when you're on the website and you're thinking about what you might want to order and you're looking at the nutrition facts, I want you to remember that you have to look at more than just the item you want to order. Many times the way they list this on the website is they will put the individual ingredients or menu item, but they don't include things like extra sauces and condiments or different types of breads and wraps. So you have to figure out exactly what you're ordering and what sauces or extras or differences you might be adding so you can find the true nutrition information on that menu. Now, when it comes to Subway, you might be wondering, what's actually considered low carb at Subway? And the thing is, low carb doesn't have a definition, right? So for our purposes, for the video today, I want to show you the items that are lower in carbs so that they can work on a low carb diet or they can work with your diabetes meal plan. So the menu items that I'm sharing with you today all have 20 grams of carbohydrate or less. And so if you are following carbohydrate counting, this would basically be 1.5 carb choices for those who follow carb counting. Or you can think about the number of carbs you're looking for per meal, and all of these menu items are going to have 20 grams or less. Now, as we go through them, just remember that there is no set correct amount of carbohydrate per meal or snack. That's going to depend on you as an individual. So talk with your doctor, talk with your dietitian, see what's the right amount of carbs for you at each meal, so that'll help you to best decide which one of these menu items would work for you. All right, so now let's get to the good stuff and dive in to talk about what are those low carb menu options at Subway that you can order. Now, when you think about Subway, you think about sandwiches, right? And sandwiches are higher in carb. But there's a really new addition to the Subway menu that I'm loving, which is the sliders. These are smaller sandwiches, and because they're smaller, they have less bread, so they have less carbs. So there's a few on the list that you should definitely check out. Now, just want to note as I go through this list with you, not everything on this list is low in calories or low in saturated fat or low in sodium. This is low carb options at Subway, but keep in mind, especially when it comes to overall health and diabetes management, you also want to take into account how much sodium you're consuming during the day and how much saturated fat you're having during the day. So these are better for you options. These are options that won't spike blood sugar, but also keep in mind that we want to watch out for too much saturated fat and too much sodium throughout the day as well. All right, so on that Subway sandwich slider menu, there are a few options that have less than 20 grams of carbohydrate. The little cheesesteak slider, if you're a cheesesteak lover, only has 19 grams of carbohydrate per serving. The little turkey slider has 18 grams of carbohydrate per serving. And the little ham and jack slider has 18 grams of carbohydrate per serving. So those are fun sandwich alternatives that are still below that mark of 20 grams of carbohydrate. Now, when it comes to low carb options at Subway, another great option are salads. Salads are just always great because it's a great way to get more lettuce and more vegetable into your meal plan along with quality protein. Now, I know sometimes you want a sandwich, which is where those sliders come in, but this salad menu at Subway is great for blood sugar balance. And there's quite a lot of options and variety too, so it doesn't have to get boring. The Veggie Delight salad at Subway only has 9 grams of carb. The cold cut combo has 10 grams. The oven roasted turkey salad has 10 grams, and the rotisserie style chicken salad has 10 grams of carbs. There's also the spicy Italian salad, which has 12 grams of carb, and the steak and cheese salad, which has 12 grams of carb. And if you want something a little different, there's the Italian BMT salad with 12 grams of carb, the Black Forest ham salad with 12 grams, and the buffalo chicken salad, which also has 13 grams of carbohydrate. If you love bacon, there's the chicken and bacon ranch salad, which has 13 grams, and there's also the turkey Italiano salad, which has 13 grams. So all of those salads, and you can see there's a lot of salads on the menu, a lot of options for your taste preferences. They're all coming in at under that 20 gram of carbohydrate mark. Now, another thing that you can order at Subway that not everybody knows about is their no bready bowls or protein bowls. And these are basically where they take the sandwich fillings and they put it in a bowl with greens instead of the bread. So instead of asking, for the sandwich and then just not eating the bread, if you want to make a bowl more low carb, this is a really great way to still enjoy all the same flavors that the sandwich would have without the carbs. Now, the one thing I want to remind you, and I talked about this in the beginning too, is that carb counts don't include dressings and sides. So if you're going to be adding condiments like barbecue sauce, ketchup, salad dressings, remember you have to look at the carb content of those too because it can add up. So when it comes to those protein bowls, there's a couple to check out. The oven roasted turkey bowl has only 8 grams of carb. The rotisserie style chicken bowl has only 8 grams. Tuna bowl has 8 grams. There's also a cold cut combo, which has 9 grams. The BLT has 10 grams of carb. And the oven roasted turkey and ham has only 10 grams of carb. There's also a steak club bowl with 11 grams of carb, a Subway club with 12 grams of carb, and the All-American club with 12 grams of carb. You can also get the roast beef bowl, which is 12 grams of carb, the spicy Italian, which is 12 grams of carb, the steak and cheese and the Black Forest ham both have 12 grams of carb, and the buffalo chicken bowl has 13 grams of carb. Also with just 13 grams of carb is the turkey Italiano and the chicken and bacon ranch, as well as the Italian BMT. Those all have only 13 grams of carbohydrate. A little bit higher on the list, but still under that mark of 20, is the chicken pizzola, which has 17 grams of carb, and the pizza sub bowl, which has 18 grams of carb. So as you can see, there are a lot of options there. Now, let's think about the sauces and the condiments as well, because these can impact your blood sugar. Many of these have added sugars in them. The other thing to think about with sauces is that they can have a good source of calories, they can be rich in saturated fat, and they can also provide a lot of sodium. So read those labels. If you're going to be adding additional oils or dressing or mayonnaise, think about the fact that that's going to add a significant amount of calories and fat. And especially in the sense of something like a mayo or a creamy dressing, they can have a good amount of saturated fat. And you don't want to have more than 10% of your calories coming from saturated fat because that could drive cholesterol levels higher and it can also increase insulin resistance. So some things to think about when you're flavoring your foods, you could always go with red wine vinegar. Vinegars are a great way to add flavor without many calories, without sodium, without added fat. There are a lot of vinaigrettes and dressings on the Subway menu that are low in carb, but remember to check the calories and the fat content. Guacamole is always a great choice. It's a healthy fat. It's unsaturated fat, comes from a plant, comes from avocado, and only contains 3 grams of carb. So that's a really great option too. So vinaigrettes, oil and vinegar, guacamole, those are great additives without the saturated fat and without too much added sodium. All right, so when it comes to ordering at Subway, you absolutely can find low carb menu items at Subway. You don't have to get the foot-long subs. You don't have to give up on everything you love at Subway, but you do have to make smart choices. So look at the menu ahead of time, plan ahead, and pay attention to not just what you're ordering, but also any condiments and sauces or breads and sides that you're adding to the dish. There are a lot of options on the Subway menu that are under 20 grams of carbohydrate. I gave you a big list here, but that's not even an all-inclusive list. You can go on their website, look at the nutrition information, and find even additional options. But you can go to Subway and still keep your blood sugar in check. So hopefully this list helps. Hopefully it gives you a large amount of variety to choose from when you're going with friends or family, and you can eat what you love and keep your blood sugar in the normal range. You just have to know where to choose. So I hope you found this helpful, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you go to Subway, what do you like to order and how does it impact your blood sugar? And remember, if you found this video helpful, please give me a follow. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss new tips, tricks, and recipes. Thanks for being here.